everyone. Let's see if I can find us here. Let's see who's joining us. Let's see. Okay, there it is. All right. Okay, we are officially live. Okay. Let's see. Hi, Aunt. Glad to see you join. All right. I'm just gonna share this over onto my page or my to my team. All right, so let's see. No, we don't want to do that. We want to share, write a post. We're going to go to group. Bear with me. We're almost there. One more. Hey, Sue. Glad to see you join. Hey, Barb. All right, we're getting there. Bear with me. One more. I'm just going to need to share it to one more spot, and then we'll be ready to go. Okay. I think we're good. Hey, Donna, thank you for sharing. I appreciate that. Thank you, ladies. All right. My back, Sue, is getting better. It's definitely better than it's been. It's probably the best it's been since all of this occurred. But it's a slow recovery, I guess you could say. I'm definitely going to be visiting my chiropractor Tuesday. He's back in the office. But I also noticed that I'm walking funny too, so now it's messing up my hip. Hey, Deborah Ann. Hello, Abby. Hello, Robin. Hey, Nancy. Thank you, ladies, for joining. I do appreciate it. Okay, I think we have a few of you on, so we're going to go ahead and start getting started. A couple of things. I do want to remind everybody that the Curvy Celebration is still available. It's the early release, but it has a bonus. Hey, Sherry Baker, thanks for joining. In addition to the bundle that's going to be in the upcoming spring catalog, they're offering the Christmas Curvy bundle. It's the paper and Christmas stamp set in addition to. So it's a great big suite available until January 4th. After January 4th, the Curvy Christmas stamp and the Designer Series paper go away, and all that you can get will be the bundle, the Quite Curvy bundle. So right now it's a great big suite, but it will shrink after January. So if that's something you're interested in with the Christmas, now's the time to think about doing that. Also, the new mini and celebration catalogs are becoming available. And if you have ordered from me within the last 1 year, your catalog is on its way. I've already did the mailing selector and it's coming to you. So watch your mailboxes. Hey, June. How are you? Hello, Miss Sherry Holt. Nice to see you be able to join. I know you've been busy, so thank you. So anyway, your catalogs are on the way. If you have not ordered from me in the last 1 year and you need a catalog, you aren't working with another demonstrator who's already sending you one, contact me, and as soon as the individual catalogs are available, Hey, Miss Betty, thank you so much for sharing. I will get a catalog out to you. So the individuals will be available, I believe, January 4th. So I can get one to you at that time. Actually, I can start ordering catalogs before then. So again, let me know and I will get a catalog to you. All right. The other big news that I've been dying to share with you guys is January 4th, the mini Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine will be available for customers. Yay! I don't know about you, but I am so excited over this. I am totally in love with the big machine, and that's the one that we're featuring this tonight. Love, love, love this machine. So Tuesday, demonstrators are going to be able to start pre-ordering. So I'm ordering mine on Tuesday, first thing. And of course, I will show it to you as soon as I get it. But, yeah, January 4th, you can start ordering it. This machine, by far, is the best machine I have ever used. And I've been a Big Shot fan for many, many years, but I never knew any better. The Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine is flippin' fabulous. So, this is the big machine. I know it doesn't fit in the camera view real well, but I've showed it to you before, but you need to see again. It folds up nicely, so it sits on a nice shelf. It opens up like so. But the best part is this thing cuts like a dream. And that's the thing I want to feature tonight. I'm showing you some detailed dies that I actually, one of them I've had for a long time. I used it once and I said never again. I put it away because it was nothing but a nightmare to try to cut. And now I can cut those detailed die. Actually, there's two dies that I'm featuring tonight that I've had for a while. This one is another one that's difficult. It's the plaid die. We're going to show that tonight. This is the one I've had for a really long time, this lacy one. Quit trying it because I could not get it to cut out for love nor money. Hey, Lisa, thanks for joining. So we're going to show you that one. And then, do you see this little frame here? The detail in that? Again, have had those for a while. Gave up on those because I gave up fighting those little pieces. But this machine, it cuts out perfect. Perfect. But before we get started, I do have Prize Patrol. And for last week, we have Barb Thayer and Sharon Drucker. If anybody sees Sharon, I do not have your information, so I'll need you to share that with me so we can get your Prize Patrol out. Barb, yours is going in tomorrow's mail. I have your envelope and everything ready to go. And for tonight, I have 2 packages of basic rhinestones. For those who have commented and shared, I will be drawing and announcing next weekend. So, that's Prize Patrol. And I have a whole pile of Prize Patrol that I finally have all the envelopes all taken care of. Everybody's packed and ready to go. It will go out in tomorrow's mail. So for those of you who have been watching and waiting for your Prize Patrol, it's coming. I promise. For real this time. Like I said, I have the stack of envelopes over there ready to rock and roll. All right. So we're going to start with our first card. And that's the plaid. Love this. And like I said, I had completely given up on these. Oh, I'm sorry, Sherry. You can catch the replay later. But I gave up on all these detailed dies because, like I said, I have no patience for playing around with trying to get these little pieces and parts out. So, anyway, the new Stampin' Cut and Emboss, or as I like to call it, the Boss, makes it easy peasy. Oh, I can't even. All right, so I have a thick Whisper White card base. This measures 4 1/4 by 11, scored at 5 1/2. I'm going to use my bone folder and press that out. Really important to have a bone folder when you're using the Thick Whisper White because it is a little bit thicker. It doesn't fold down quite as nicely, but you use your bone folder, it closes it up perfectly. Okay, then I have a 5.5 by 4.25 piece of Real Red. Same thing, basic black and crushed curry, all the same size. The Real Red is just a piece of Real Red. The basic black and the crushed curry, I did use adhesive tape. Hey Sharon, I'm so glad you joined. You are a winner of our prize patrol from last week. You won a package of the holiday rhinestones, but I do need you to private message me your mailing address so I can get them out to you. So congratulations. Okay, so anyway, so I have the adhesive sheets on the back here because that's going to cut out these little thin pieces. All right, so I need the plaid dies. And the plaid dies, they come in this package like so. And you get the thin, and then you get this larger piece. And this is the piece that I cut out of the Real Red, therefore did not use the adhesive sheet. All right, so I'm gonna move all this out. I don't have a lot of room here, so I'm not gonna roll this through on the table here. I'm just gonna show you my sandwich. So I have my machine, it's open. Then we have the basic plate. This is the platform. It's number 1 and they're labeled as such. I don't know if you can see that one in here, number 1. Then we need number 2. Then we need, clean all that off, a number 3. Then we need our paper. Our die. And another number 3. And we're going to run this through. Oop, everything just moved on me. Hang on. Let's put everything back on there. There we go. Crank it through. And all of that just kind of pops out. So we're just going to pop all these out. But look at how no brush needed, just my nail running across these little pieces. And I do have this cut a little bit bigger than what I needed because I'm going to cut this down to 4 by 5.25. But it's easier to start with a larger piece, so that's why I cut it the full size of the. But look at that, see? It cuts all the way through, and it's one pass. It's not trying like the other machine. You had to like run it through 15 times to get it to cut even a little bit. Not this. Okay, so I'm just gonna, You can save these little squares and do a patchwork type card. We're doing the whole scrap challenge, so anybody who's interested in doing a scrap challenge. But so there's our first piece. Then we need to bring in, you know what I realized I did forget to cut? That was weird. Okay. Oh. I think Barb is trying to call me on Messenger. However, we're doing the video, so that won't work. All right, so let's just cut this 4 1/4. There we go. All right, so now we have our Whisper White piece that I forgot to cut. All right, so now we have our crushed curry piece. And we have our other piece of our die. Okay, so again, we have number 1, number 2, number 3. Again, oops, our die. Let's try to get this on there straight. And I do use Post-it notes when it's kind of moving around. Oh, that's all right, Barb. I get it. Technology isn't always our friend. Trust me, I know. Okay, there we go. Get that on there like so. And then we're just going to run this back through. You hear all that pressure. And again, you pop all these little out. There's grid number 1. And again, like I said, save your little squares. You can definitely do a patchwork card. And what I have done is I saved these pouches from my Stampin' Seal and Stampin' Seal puffs. And I've been throwing them right in here. Still having problems with blurriness. It's probably my phone is slow. I made sure I'm not on my internet. I'm on my phone data, which is usually better than my internet. But anything's possible. All right, now we're going to do the same thing with the basic black piece. I'm going to run this through, and again, it's just get it lined up so it's straight. Collecting all my little squares because they fell out before I even picked it up. Set those aside like I said, I am saving those because you never know. We'll have a patchwork card coming up. Okay. Nope. Now we just need to pop that out. So now I have my real red, I have a basic black, and I have the crushed curry. And I have my card front. Here's my card base. We're going to set the card base aside for a minute. And I'm just going to go ahead and peel off the adhesive backing. Oh no, Robin. I hope AT&T isn't messing with my... And I'm not seeing anything on my iPad, which is actually on my internet, other than it does get fuzzy at times. But I don't know if that's my iPad and my internet or if it's AT&T data. All right, so now we're just going to go ahead and line that up. Try to keep it straight because it does, because they're so thin, it does tend to want to get a little wonky. Okay, so there's the first part of our plaid. I don't know, Robin. All right, now I'm just going to use a little of my green glue here. I'm just going to add little dollops into my solid. Now, you could absolutely use the adhesive sheet for this as well, but I opted not to, being I do have the ability to add adhesive here pretty easily. There's one of those little shards that got missed. Okay. So now we're going to go ahead and center this on here. And with the liquid glue, you do have a little bit of wiggle room. So get that on there. Straight. Oops. Till it grabs. Okay. Now this one we're going to offset a little bit. So we're going to go ahead, remove our adhesive backing. Okay, so now, again, we're just going to go a little bit down and over. Okay. Now, I'm going to bring out my little trimmer here. And we're going to trim this down. Let's see, so we're going to just start doing it. Well, maybe this wasn't the right tool to use. There we go. All right. Now we can go ahead, put that right on the 4 1/4 right there. get a new one of these. I might have dulled that blade already. All right, and I'm not gonna be able to measure that out, so let's do it on here. So now we want to trim this down to 5 1/4. Let's go to 5 right there. There we go. And then put it right on the 5 1/4. There we go. That's better. Let's Stampin' trimmer is always the best. There we go. Now we've got it. All right, so there's our plaid piece. Pretty, huh? Okay, so now we can go ahead and bring in our card base. And we need some Stampin' dimensionals, of course. We always love dimensionals. So we're going to just put one there. And in the center. I love my trimmer too, Betty. One of the best tools. I don't know. This Stampin' Cut and Emboss, aka the Boss. Tell you what, pretty impressive. When I don't have to run things through 10 times just to make a cut on these fancy schmancy dies that have lots of cuts, we're talking my language. Okay, so there's that. Then we have our scrap piece of Whisper White. And I have Warm Wishes for a Happy Christmas, and that comes from the stamp set that actually bundles with the plaid die. It's called Best Year, and you'll find that in the annual catalog. Where is it here? Oh. Yep, there it is. It is in the annual catalog on page 133. It's called Best Year, and it is bundled with the Perfect Plaid dies. So they do have a bundle, and you do save 10% by buying the two together. And again, lots of different sentiments that go with it, including Warm Wishes for a Happy Christmas. So that's the one we're using. Actually, we're using that one on 2 of our projects tonight. But using Real Red ink. Just going to stamp that. Then we're going to bring in, where is it? It's here. Ahaha. These are the Tasteful Labels dies. And I'm using this one right here. Again, using this one twice on different 2 projects. So we're just going to line that up, bring in that little Post-it note so we can get it nice and straight and keep it that way. I'm going to put that on the cutter. Run it through. And cuts like butter. All right, a couple dimensionals. Oh, I feel so bad that the live feed. Everybody's having so much trouble. It seems like on my end, everything looks okay, so I don't know. So we're just gonna put that down there in the lower corner, and that completes card number 1. Alrighty, so that is the plaid dies. Awesome. Okay, card number 2. This one uses that lacy die. That is called, where is it? Is it? It's here. There we go. This is the stitched lace dies. So that's another big background die. And again, I used it one time when I first got it, and that was quite a while ago now. Actually about 2 years ago this die came out, and I loved it. I saw it in the catalog. It was beautiful, so I said, gotta have it. Got it. I used it once and I put it away, never to be used again, because OMG, it was horrible. Absolutely, positively horrible. Like, it did not cut. I had like big spots where it would not cut through, and where it did cut through, I had to sit and poke out with my pokey tool each individual little piece. 90% of them. It was awful. So, needless to say, did not use it. Hey, Jody. All right, so we're going to make this card. What I have here is another Thick Whisper white card base, 4 1/4 by 11, scored at 5 1/2. Just going to set that with my phone folder. I have a real red piece that measures 5 1/2 by 4 1/4, and again, that'll be cut down after we cut it. We have a scrap of crushed curry. I have a scrap of Whisper white, another scrap of real red that I do have some adhesive backing on, and I have a piece of this champagne foil. All right. So first thing we are going to cut is this background stamp, or die. We're going to cut that out of the real red. So again, we have our base plate, the number 2, and our number 3, followed by paper and die, followed by another number 3. And we're just going to run that through. There's the die. This one's a little bit messy. I will be the first to tell. So we're just gonna run our fingers over it. Actually, what we could do is, I have that close by. Ugh, time for a vacuum over here with these little pieces. Ooh. Just gonna run the brush over, but you'll see that they just come out. Not a lot of trouble. If you'd seen what I went through cutting it out with the other machine, you would know why I say this is nothing. couple little stubborn ones there, but they still pop out. They cut all the way through. See how pretty that is? This is why I fell in love with this to begin with, but like I said, used it the one time and said never again. I don't have the patience to sit and fuss. So this was one of those one and dones. But now this new machine, I could actually use this die and not feel like I need to cry. Okay, so there is our lacy background. Oop, a couple more little pieces right there. There we go. Clean up my mess. Okay, so now just gonna use a little bit of my, wait, did I did. Just a minute. This is another one I forgot to cut a piece out for. What did I do with my little scrap here? But we'll just cut it at a piece. All right. I did forget. Go figure. Okay, so this is what I did. So just took another piece of Whisper White, cut 4 1/4 by 5, or 5 1/2. Add a little adhesive, maybe, and just ran it across like so. Then line this up. And this probably wasn't exactly necessary, but I like to cut it down so that it's the right size for my card front. So there we go. So now I'm going to cut it down on my cutter to 5 1/4 by 4. So we're going to cut. There we go. So now we can put on our dimensionals. Well, like I said, Nancy, if you would have seen the amount of work went into it before, that was nothing. That was nothing. And like I said, I'm actually excited that I can now use this die without wanting to cry, because it is beautiful. And like I said, that I don't mind. There we go. So now that is there. Then, actually, you know what? I was going to put a little piece of adhesive sheet on the back here. All right, then we need our stars. So I'm using here the Stitch Stars die. We have this pretty little flourish that we're gonna die cut with the adhesive backing on it. So just running that through. Just pop these little extra pieces out. Oh, absolutely not worse than fussy cutting. Robin, I'll have to disagree with you on that. You also get these extra little stars. Actually, you know what? It's just easier to pull the backing off and all those little extra pieces come with it. There we go. Except for that one, why didn't you come out? It's one of the pluses with the adhesive backing. It will usually pull all of the little extra pieces out with it. Just a couple of little extras stuck in there. There we go. All right, now we're just going to set that down. Right about there. Then we're going to pull this star and cut that from our crushed curry. Then we have this little star here. We're going to cut that from our real red that has the adhesive backing on it. Remove that adhesive back, and all those little extra pieces come out with it. We're going to add that to the center of our crushed curry star. That requires a dimensional. I'm just going to kind of put that on there about like so. All right. Put these back in the package so we don't lose anything. And we need our scrap of Whisper White. Bring back that Warm Wishes for a Happy Christmas. Nope, Nancy, disagreeing with both of you for the, I'll do this over fussy cutting any day of the week. There's our Warm Wishes for a Happy Christmas. We did that in real red ink to coordinate. Got my dirty old chamois. And I'm going to use that same die. I tried it earlier with a bigger one. And I actually did die cut Merry Christmas. I originally had this on there, but did not like it. It was too much. It overtook the card. So we switched to this. Okay. So again, a couple dimensionals. And we're just going to place that right about there. And that finishes card number 2. Huh. All right. Nobody likes my fancy schmancy card. Okay. All right. Card number 3. This one I did an unusual... Thank you, Betty. Glad you like it. This one is a 5.5-inch square card. So I started off with, again, a thick Whisper White card base, and this measures 5.5 by 11, scored at 5.5, so we have that square. And it's still a side opening card. You could, however, obviously do it as a top fold, but I decided to do it as a side. I have another piece of Whisper White. This measures 5.25 inches square. I have a scrap of Whisper White for our sentiment. And then I have a piece of the gold foil. So for this card, we are doing some embossing in addition to the die cutting of the sentiment. So the die for the sandwich for our, what do I want to say, embossing. Ugh. We need a different setup. So it is a 3D embossing folder that we're using. And where did I put that embossing folder? Oh, I got myself in a mess over here, so bear with me as I look through it. There's the die. There it is. Aha, found it. Okay, so we are using, it's the Evergreen Forest 3D embossing folder. So this is one of the 6x6 embossing folders, and it is a 3D embossing folder. So this one has a little bit of a different sandwich than a standard embossing folder. So I'm going to show you. The best thing about the Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. It comes with everything you need. It comes with your base plate 1. It comes with your 2. It comes with 2 of the 3 plates. And it comes with the number 4 plate. And your number 4 plate is what you need for embossing with 3D embossing folders. So when we're embossing with the 3D embossing folders, we're going to remove number 2. We don't need that. That is for die cutting only. So we have our 1 and we have our 4s. We do not need our 3 plates. All right, so you have the number 1. Then you have your embossing folder. So we're going to place our piece in here. And I got it right about there, I guess. Should do it. Always put your spine in first. And then number 4 goes on top. Okay, so this is the plate that you need. And we're going to run it through. It's snug, but it rolls through very easily. And then you get this gorgeous 3D design. See how pretty that is? So pretty. All right, so we have that. Then we're going to take our gold foil piece and we're going to do the same. So I'm going to put that in right about there, I guess. And this is cut 2.5 by 5 1/4. Make sure it's straight. Sandwich it with the number 4 and run it through. Set that aside. Don't want it too far because we are going to be cutting again. So let's like so. All right. So for this piece, I am going to use a little of my liquid adhesive because it's very detailed. So yes, it is a new folder. It's in the Holiday Mini Catalog. So we're just going to put that down. Nice and straight like so. It is on page 35 and it's with the For Unto Us. They show it with that stamp set right here. It's the Evergreen Forest 3D embossing folder. And we are using the sentiment from this particular stamp set while we do this. As a matter of fact, my inspiration came from this card here. It's a gorgeous folder, absolutely. And it works back with a lot of our different sets that we have that have trees in them. So, all right. So now we're just going to use some dimensionals to add this to our card front. So and I need snips. We don't want saggy centers. Oh no, Barb. Okay, so we're going to add this to our card front. So I'm going to get that on the center. When I do white on white, I like to use dimensionals. That just kind of helps pop it up a little bit to give it a little more definition, I guess you could say. Make sure that's going to stay stuck. All right, next up, we need our scrap of Whisper White. So we have this piece here, and I need my, there it is, my little embossing buddy. We're just gonna wipe that down. We don't carry these anymore, and I think you've all heard me say you could always make one out of some cornstarch and a little flour sack to work. All right, need Versamark and our stamp. This one says, sharing with you the glory, wonder, and miracle of this holy season. And that's a pretty long stamp, so you want to make sure you're inking it up good in the Versamark. So go along there and stamp. We're using Versamark, which is a clear sticky ink. Oh, okay. Well, that's why we have replay. Sorry, the Robin's having troubles though. It's a bummer. All right, now I have my gold embossing powder. So we're just gonna okay, I think we're good. Get that heating up and find my tweezers here. When I did the last one, I burned my fingers. So make sure your fingers are back far enough when you're running your heat tool, because that does get very, very hot. I've had people ask me in the past if you can use a hair dryer to do this. The answer is no. A hair dryer does not get hot enough. And you run the risk of having a fire because, like I said, the hair dryer does not get hot enough, and you would keep it on there for too long. It does take some significant heat to melt that powder. Okay. So that's now melted and all pretty and shiny and glistening. So now we're going to use these pretty frames. These are the Ornate Layers dies, and I'm using this one right here to cut that out. And like I said, this is only the second time I've actually used these dies. Or third time, actually. This would be the second one right here. This will be number 3, because the first time I used them, again, it was a nightmare trying to get everything to cut out. And I said, it's not worth it. This goes pretty smooth, I have to say. So we're just going to put that on and run it through. that. And look at that. They all come out. So now we're just going to add some dimensionals to that. Need my snips again because we're at the end of our dimensionals. Those go there like so. And then to finish this card off, bring in, I have these pretty gold enamel shapes. They're sparkly and they're pretty. Put one there. There. And that completes card number 3. All right. Barb, those are the ornate layering frames, I think, or yeah, ornate layers dies. Those are with the ornate garden set. So there's our cards tonight. Well, thank you. I'm glad you like that, Barb. Thank you, Deb. Thanks, Aunt. Glad you like them. Oh. Come here. You want to say hi? Come here. You can say hi. Oh, goodness gracious. Tucker wants to say hello to everybody. Say hi, Tucky. Say hello. Thank you, ladies. I appreciate that. I'm so glad you like them. But Tucker has had enough of Mommy not paying attention to him, so I guess it's time for me to call it a night. So again, thank you, ladies, so much for hanging out with me tonight, and I hope I inspired you to, if you have the Boss in your craft room, pull out those really intricate dies because it works amazing in that. If you don't have the Boss in your craft room, maybe you'll think about it because, again, like I said, awesome, awesome, awesome for these intricate dies. And the baby Boss is coming out for January, but if you want it early, you're always welcome to join my team and put it on your demonstrator, your first demonstrator order, and get it starting Tuesday. So just a thought. Okay, guys, have a wonderful night, and I'll see you back here next weekend. Have a great week. Bye.